Alright, name 3 Taylor Swift songs.
I don't even know one. Maybe if I hear it, I might know it because it play on the radio or something, but I don't know. I don't even know one Taylor Swift song.
I was in my class at that time, right? It was a light-hearted class and we was like playing music or whatever the case is. And they were like, sir, pon a Taylor Swift. And I was like, I do not know one Taylor Swift song, you know. And it's like, sir, nah, could never be. She's the #1 artist ever. Blah, 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 blah. She have millions of streams, all that kind of thing. And I was like, yo, you could play a Taylor Swift song for me right now and I will just hear it and I don't know that it exists because the radio I listening to have no Taylor Swift songs playing. There are no cars that has passed around playing Taylor Swift songs where I live.
People don't do that in Trinidad. I saw her come on the radio and I was asking my wife, they Taylor Swift singing? And she's been like, no. She had all knows like any Taylor Swift song. So I have no idea.
Welcome to the TriniTechcast. This is episode number 134. We're recording on the 12th of October. October is the month. And it's Sunday. Next weekend is our long weekend, right? Diwali is the Monday.
Yeah. You know, I really saw an email from school about Diwali program.
I want to go and get sorry and get a deer or some kind of thing.
My wife and my daughter would do that.
If the children dressing up, you gotta make sure your daughter dress up too because she don't want to be left out.
Yeah, she will dress up. My wife says she will dress up, but I'm not dressing up. Like for me, and it's not just that, like I don't feel any like emancipation day too. I don't do anything.
Yeah,
so
that's
not bias. I don't feel the connection.
Plus, them things are expensive. Like African dashiki, that is about $1,500 to $2,000 for like a proper one with all the stitching and all them kind of thing. It's the kind of cheap ones that's just basically the cloth that is sewn into the pattern. But the ones that have all the embroidery and all that thing, money. And saris and curtains and all them kind of thing. I feel it's because of the embroidery. I'm probably not too schooled on the fabric and fashion part of it, but I just know the last time I hear about one and somebody tried to sell me one, I was like $1,500. You see, that is more than my suit for my wedding.
Yeah, I never venture into looking at the prices for me. I look at the prices for my wife and daughter because they just do it, but.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what happens next weekend because I have a Monopoly line on the Sunday. So
okay.
I had a record before. Either that or I'll do an interview episode because I have a man to interview who did I think he made a maths game or some kind of thing. But we're going to talk about that backstage and see. So what did you do? Techie? Anything technically sound?
I'm not realizing I put on my t-shirt inside out.
Yeah, you know about Kid and Play or Crisscross?
Yeah,
right. That was a thing. To the point where they used to put the jeans backward too. I was like, well, how you going to pee? Anyhow, yeah. I do that a few times.
Yeah, techie boy is just working or work.
Yeah, I get that work done. I use I have a thing that I'm gonna do in class where I'm gonna play like a game show with them for them to learn a particular topic. And Friday I sit down with Gemini and I build out a whole website for it, like with like a bracket, typing in the winner, putting in sound effects and all them kind of thing.
Okay.
And it took me about an hour to do, but I was real into it because I was like, I could put this on, I could put that. All right, cool. It have a whole background. It have this. It have a leaderboard. All kind of things that I make. And that I realized that once you have, now we just say this all the time, and once you have the passion,
Yeah.
The amount of time that you're gonna spend behind things like these AI projects, you're gonna go into it and you could get lost in it. And I definitely did get lost to the point where I say, all right, I had to stop here. Because if I continue, I'm just gonna try and make this thing better and better and better and better. Yeah.
I had something similar to that. So, I building something for myself right now, all my time and energy going to that. Before, you have a business and, you do a site for somebody and, you used to put all your work into doing something for somebody else. But now that you're doing it for yourself, it's like, but I could actually go above and beyond because it's for me. I'm not doing this for somebody else. For them to, sometimes you do something for somebody, you put out this amount, like a large amount of work and you pay small because sometimes you yourself does want to put extra care and quality into the work that you're doing because it's something you do.
You have a standard, kind of.
Okay. Even though the pay might, but now that you're doing it for yourself, it's like, So I diving deep into it. And I mean so much so that anybody wants anything from Redwood for websites or anything, you might as well go straight to Andre.
That's facts. Yeah.
Because like just last night, like I have an uncle in the US, he was like, hey nephew, calling, I was talking to your aunt and she said yeah, you used to do websites and thing, and he called for me to do his website up there versus going to get somebody, and I had to turn him down and say alright, you have the time right now,
time. Yeah. It's be like that, especially when you're grinding to build something. I know how that feel, that grinding to build something and get it to a particular standard, and then ready to like, all right, let me see how it could get better. Wait, I could do this, I could do that. To the point where I think Friday had like Twitter professional development day or whatever it is.
Thank God. had less traffic on the road.
No, I don't see it earlier.
Funny enough, in the morning had less traffic, but in the evening had like from 2 o'clock had real traffic.
I don't know. That's probably when the teachers finished watching the video and they decided to go and do whatever they had to do, because I was watching it online. And but in the back of my mind, I was like, "Oh, I have a day, boy. What I could do with this day to make this business more efficient?" And I started thinking about all of the processes, how everything working, how this does link to that, and how this does do this, and all that kind of thing. And I was like, "Hey, I was trying to fix this thing here. All right, let me see if I could go in and fix it." And I kind of went in and started dig up and all kind of things and tried to use Gemini to fix that. In the end, I didn't really get to do much because I wasn't really behind a laptop. I was on my phone. But yeah, as soon as I get home, I remember I had to do that thing for the class. Like the passion for teaching, that was overwhelming, but it's overwhelming. Like when I get to the point where I like, hey, this thing will be real cool for them students, I was get lost in the process. So I'll tell you about it next week when I do it. But that website I built for them for that particular task, for that particular class where we're gonna do like a game show and compete and thing. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. All right, that's our intro where you kind of get to know a little bit about us and realize that Akeem hates traffic, and I am the reason that his traffic is there, because we diametrically opposed when it comes to traffic. I am the causer and he's the hater. Alright, today Jamaica has AI legislation for courts. So Jamaica has actually laid out legislation that says what lawyers can and cannot do when it comes to court cases. And I think this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this from the Caribbean. Maybe somewhere else, but I know Trinidad didn't do this for sure, because we had to discuss this some time ago. Second thing is, we will not try to talk about the budget. I know that y'all hate when we try to talk about politics, and I acknowledge that. So we're not going to talk about the budget. We're just going to talk about technology in Trinidad and Tobago and what can be. That may just be, an allocation for something in the budget. Maybe, but we try our best not to talk about it. And for the first time ever, we're going to talk about Taylor Swift. Because when we get to that segment, I'm gonna ask you one question at the start, just to prove.
I know where you're gonna ask. I have an idea where you're gonna ask.
Taylor Swift and AI, we had to talk about that because artificial intelligence and the Swifties not having the AI right now with Taylor. The Swifties, they ain't really trying to live that life. All right, so let's jump into it. Jamaica has AI legislation for lawyers. Right now you're listening to Trinity Techcast, and more than likely you know that I love technology a lot, but more so I love teaching technology. I'm a CSEC IT and CAPE Computer Science and IT teacher, and I have classes that are available. So if you know anyone, any student that's looking for quality CAPE Computer Science or CSEC IT classes, you can check us out 308-8799 on WhatsApp or makeitsimplett.com/register. You can get classes, notes, recordings, IA, SBA help, everything that you could think of. That will get you that one in CSEC IT. So you can check us out. So the first, I have two articles for it. All you'll see them in the show notes. One of them is the Guardian, Trinidad Guardian. And then I had to kind of track down the original article from the Jamaica Gleaner, which I just want to let you know that it's 2025 and the Jamaica Gleaner need to do something about their website, right? But when I share it, you will see, right? But this is the first one, right? So this is from The Guardian. Chief Justice Brian Skies says Jamaica has become one of the first countries in the region to implement clear rules for how artificial intelligence can be used in courts. In making a statement on Tuesday, Skies said the guidelines are designed to ensure that AI enhances justice delivery without undermining fairness, accuracy, and integrity. And they kind of laid out what they're going to do, but they didn't actually say what they're going to police. So this leads me now to the next website, which is the Jamaica Gleaner. Watch this site. Oh, come on, man. Like, it's not even like mobile. It's not even responsive. Like, it is.
That website from like 2009.
2003, maybe. 2003. And it have like the buttons kind of thing, and they have like the chats and emojis and all that kind of thing. Like in order for me to see the things on the website, I have to zoom into it, and it just basically zooms up like that. It's one big div that wrapped up. Anyhow, yeah. All right. So that was my rant. I just needed to put that out there as a website builder. All right. So the rules, according to the Jamaica Gleaner article, would be that so key provisions of the practice direction include the prohibition of using AI to draft affidavits, witness statements, expert evidence, or fabricated case law. Disclosure requirements including a declaration of AI use and verification, and sanctions for misuse including cost orders, contempt proceedings, or referral to the General Legal Counsel. So what they're saying is, there are certain things you cannot do. So let's take whatever legal knowledge we have and see if we can make sense of this. First one is draft affidavits. Why would AI drafting an affidavit be a problem?
I mean, in terms of using AI on the whole in law, the problem would be these hallucinations. Yeah,
but if you're drafting what is an affidavit? Is basically something to validate who you are or what you have done, or some statement or some kind of thing, right?
Yeah, so
basically a testament.
Yeah, for me, certain legal documents, just no matter where you go, it's kind of be the same in terms of the language and the wording and the structure, how it does be. And one thing about AI, boy, sometimes you give it a certain thing to do now, it'll give you output. Then next 5 minutes, you give it the exact same prompt, or you give it something different.
That's true. That's true. That happened to me the other day, creating a multiple choice. I use the exact same because the prompt, one gave me it in dark mode and the next one gave me it in light mode. I was like, so why just so the color change?
And sometimes if you give it back what it just produced and you tell it, all right, just change just one particular thing, it will change the whole thing. And not just that one particular thing. So that's one area where...
But affidavit have a template though. Like, like if you have the template, because you could upload a document template and then tell it to use this as a guide on what you produce, right? Mm-hmm. If I feed it, like in Gemini, I could create a gem. In ChatGPT, you could create a GPT, right?
Yeah.
Where you basically feed it a whole set of documents and say, okay, I want you to use these documents. As the case, don't use any external sources, use these. If I feed it 10 affidavits and then I just put the information about the person, I could, based on my experience, I could replicate a document very consistently once you give it a template. So I'm not too sure if this law here is for like just basically base prompting, no? With base prompting without any...
So that's me and you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who have experience with ChatGPT and prompting and know, all right, you just need to keep prompting to get exactly what you want. So they're probably trying to cast a wide net for the people that probably just go and use it for the first time or do have as much experience as well as the people that have experience. So like
for the person that could not say, type me up an affidavit for so, enter, and then take away again and copy and paste it.
Because like same thing is talk about, like, you have teachers like you who real deep in it, and it have other teachers who was on the fence about it and only after some workshop or something you see so they're probably casting a wide net to cater for all the lawyers, because not all the lawyers gonna be quote unquote tech savvy enough to know you need to prompt it a certain way to produce that document exactly how it should be.
Yeah. I understand. All right. Well, affidavit is a tricky one. That was the only one that I thought was kind of like 50-50. But they also have the next one is witness statements. Oh gosh, come on! like you're really
you're pushing it.
Yeah, you're real pushing it if you try to create a witness statement using AI. And unless there is some format or way that the witness statement is supposed to be produced that is very laborious, right? Unless, like, to have some documents that you have to do in like work where it's 90% the same thing every time and only like a few sentences just get switched in the middle. And for me, that's something called a schema work, right? A scheme of work is literally what you're supposed to do for let's say this will have 14 weeks. Each of the weeks you have certain milestones that you have to reach in your lesson planning, certain times when you have to give tests and all that kind of thing. Yeah. That's the same thing that does have to do every single year. Barring changing probably a few words, the dates, the size of the different things. So I wouldn't use AI to do that because it's real easy to just change the things that you have to change. I don't know what it does take to do a witness statement, but get AI to do your witness statement. That's sounding real, like that's a no-brainer. Like who would even try that?
Yeah, and I guess that's after you interview the person.
Well,
and you take notes as
I hope so.
Writing it up as doing the write-up after.
Yeah, it had to be. Like, I don't know. Ask ChatGPT what it takes to do a witness statement.
Yeah, because even like Zoom have the AI summary where there's be listening to
yeah.
Even that cause reading some stuff online for some people it is hallucinating. It is make up stuff. Yeah, I was reading that somewhere. It is put stuff in. It could be because it don't understand exactly what. Like when certain people talking or the accents or whatever, it is kind of.
I do that already with Gemini for I have my workspace account. I had a meeting at a time, a real long meeting, and I turn on Gemini to summarize the meeting. And as soon as I click end the meeting, email, and when I see the summary of that, it had talking points, those that were present. And then actionable items at the end, which was basically what everybody was supposed to do and the data was supposed to be done for. Yeah. I was like, well, yeah, this is gold. But I didn't check for any hallucination. I just like copy and paste that and then send out to everybody meeting minutes done.
Yeah.
Immediately. But doing a witness statement, no problem. Expert evidence. I lie to make you think that I know what expert evidence is in a court setting. Expert evidence is, I know you have expert opinions. Like you might have some fingerprint, or you might have some hair or some kind of thing like that, and then you have to pass that through to a lab.
That's like you used to watch Law and Order.
Sometimes I didn't. All I know was the the kind of intro song because of memes.
Sometimes for certain crimes, you need an expert, like a forensic pathologist, who could come and give the expert opinion on a certain murder scene or crime scene or whatever, or expert opinion on ballistics or whatever. Probably that, like taking that type of probably analyzing the evidence. But we could look it up. But that was what I'm thinking.
I go and check it. I'll be like, what is it? Yeah, because expert opinion and expert evidence. What is expert evidence in a court of law? Right. According to Gemini Flash, expert evidence in a court of law is essentially opinion evidence provided by a suitably qualified specialist to assist the judge or jury in understanding complex technical or specialized matters that are outside the knowledge and experience of an ordinary person. Okay, so examples are like science, medicine, ballistics, engineering, accounting or finance, and social sciences, or IT people. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, see, you should have watched more Law and Order. Or you should have actually watched it.
The only lawyer show that captivated me was Suits, because Suits had a compelling story behind it, rather than just let's go and win a case. Okay, so expert evidence. I could see a lawyer saying,
no, instead of finding an actual expert, my expert is ChatGPT.
Yes, it'll be like, so here's what happened. Person A said this, and then they did that, and we got this, and we got that, and we got that. What is your opinion? And
what is your expert knowledge? Say you are
you are a ballistic specialist, or you are somebody. You are a doctor. Tell me what you think happened here.
Yeah.
I and all might do that if I was a lawyer. Because remember, in the desire to win your argument, you go and find any source that could prove your point. And if you have if you have like a AI that could create that kind of point and give you a compelling argument, I could see some lawyers like, aha, get them with this.
And I was looking at, I think, a video. What started happening now?
What's that?
So, say last year or a year ago, people would, say 4 years ago, people used to write their own articles without AI, right? But now, in the past 2 years or so, people writing articles and whatever, fact-based or whatever, and they're using AI, and that AI does hallucinate. And say fast forward to now, when you're trying to write articles with AI, that AI going and hallucinate, but it's also going to pull articles from the past, and some of the articles it's pulling from half hallucinations. So it's pulling.
It will end up having a feedback loop here. That feedback loop will just get more and more garbage all the time.
And it will probably keep getting worse. And next year, you have a chain of AI that citing articles from AI that hallucinating.
Yeah. I guess expert evidence, they had to clearly state that one. The witness statements, that was straightforward. Expert evidence. Okay, last one is case law.
Hallucinations.
No, okay, wait, no. This goes back to what you said at the start, where it's like for people like you and I who understand how to like create a dedicated AI that'll be able to use set resources versus people who just ask any question. But it have like PDFs, right? And books that have case law going back to 1700s and all kind of thing, right? If you get a book and you put it in and you create your own Gemini or GPT and ChatGPT or whatever the others have, basically, you could say, refer to this book only. And every time you refer to it, make sure you give me the page and the reference number and all that kind of thing. Because I did that for something I had to do in Scouts. We have a book called Policy and Organization Rules. Basically, all the rules of things that you can and cannot do in Scouting, the layout of all the different sections and the organizational chart, all everything, it's inside that book. And I was not going to sit down and search through it to find if was the right way to do a particular thing. So I create a gem. I say, using this book only, every time I ask a question, give me an answer and tell me the reference. So at least I'll know what page to go to find the original source material. And it did a really good job. Now, there were times when I knew there was something inside of the book and it gave me an answer and said, nah, that is not located inside there. All it has is this. And I was like, no, check again. And I reprompted and I was like, check again. And I was like, oh yeah, right. It is on page 17. You are correct. So there are flaws in it, right? But with case law, you could create a very good customized AI that'll be able to give you like 90% accuracy in at least finding where it is, right? Now, if you just go here and go straight to ChatGPT and give me case law on whatever the case is, yeah, that craziness, that madness. Because that going on scour the internet for all of the, not just the case law, but the opinions of other people on that case law and all kind of thing, and you'll have a problem. So I think if I wanted to say what should happen is the next step would be, okay, they have a ban on AI for this. However, there are these particular tools that can be used to create customized law AI. That should be the next step, because they're gonna make lawyers' life like real easy, like a lot easier.
But you're gonna increase the overhead. How much lawyers you think gonna want to? They gonna see that as IT work. They gonna see that as an increase in the workload. Like, I don't spend 10 years trying to be a lawyer. I learn IT now. Right? Either I learn IT or I hire an IT person, like more money.
You could. Okay. I understand what you're saying. But in the interest of making your life and your process a little easier,
I understand.
You could create these things, and because it basically what a paralegal will do. You'd basically tell the paralegal, go and find all the case law on this political thing for them. That paralegal go and sit on the library for hours, going through books and books and books and books to find all the references and whatnot. When you literally have an AI that you could take the same books, drop all of them inside, and say put it in, and it may even be a little more accurate than the paralegal who might have missed out things.
And to tell a case like that, where the lawyer, where the
we talk about it.
Find out you're using AI and the lawyer through the paralegal.
True. That one of the boss, because that paralegal was like me saying I want a library to go through all this, but the paralegal was kind of not smart because they just asked AI blanket, like just prompt once and get an answer. But if the paralegal is smart enough to use the books, get the references, you still have to do all of the work. But you're just gonna get the references and then you're gonna check them immediately. So you still have to come up with a customized list, but at least the AI would give you like a head start on where to look instead of you having to start to go. Like, I don't even remember when I was in university and you had to find references for your for like if you had to type up a paper. You had to type up a paper and you had to put a list of references and all them things. And you used to have to go and you had to cite the website that you use using APA or MLA.
I can't remember which one I had to use, but
Yeah, using APA or MLA. And when I did my degrees, I had to do that. And I had to go in the book, open the book, look at the page, and write out the reference to it. If I had that now, I'll just be like, so I need all of the references that I used inside this paper here. Tell me which books they are from and the references. It will give me the references, but I will double check them first before I put them in the document. That take away 6 hours of my hard work of actually going to the library and checking every book or opening up the PDF or opening up the website to check it to see if it actually there. Because you know, much times you will go and you wouldn't find it. But if it give me what's the word I want to use? If AI can narrow down the scope of your work, and if it narrow down the scope of your work, I think lawyers should be able to do the case law one. The case law one, there must be something in place. Actually, there are things that are in place right now.
But you're always going to have lawyers who just want to go to ChatGPT and ask it to find this case somewhere. Because they know when you're doing a case, you're going and try to find something that going and, support your side of it. Mm-hmm. But they'll let you know if ChatGPT give you the case, you yourself still need to go and verify it.
Okay. So they have to, according to the article, they have to declare when they use AI and verify that it was used. And if you use AI and you declare it, then you could get sanctioned for misuse. So I guess they will have some sort of layout. I don't know what the process is for you to declare it though, which it will be tricky for me. So you're gonna be like, hey, here's all our declarations for this case. We use AI for this document here, that document here, that document here. Who gonna check that document now to verify that the AI, the things that they use for AI, well, the tools that they use were used properly? They have like an IT department. They have an IT department in the court that will double check your documents.
But how because as it is now, the AI detectors does flag, it have a lot of false positives that has happened too.
I think the best way to check it is to just give it to the defense and let the defense double check it. And the defense now going and you take that and put it inside AI to be like, if have anything inside here that's not correct. And then it might either point it out or it might hallucinate and say, yeah, there's a problem there. Oh wow, this could get real ugly. Because you might have like a AI versus AI war because the humans ain't really trying to do the groundwork.
Yeah. I've seen this clip of a Simpsons episode where Bart get a A because he used AI and Lisa was up. You see that?
Yeah, I think I remember seeing that at some point in time. I can't remember when.
Yeah, and Lisa was upset and she asked Homer something and Homer used AI to answer she question.
Yeah.
And the whole point was that people to just have a normal conversation, they're asking AI what to say. Respond now.
Well, yeah, that happened.
I just find myself going to AI for things that real simple to her.
And nothing wrong with that. I like how Google let's give the AI overview right now, and then get the links to wherever they got that information from, because the AI overview does more often than not, it does answer my question, and if I want to know more, I'll be like, all right, let me just click that link and go to that website and see what else they said. But that's me not that's me going through the work of following down a link. But remember, I kind of old now. Like I know the power of references in doing a paper, but I don't know if children care about that. Yeah, everybody will be like Bart. I don't know about the education in 5-10 years. I'm not sure how. Yeah, and I don't want to be the one that just kind of blanket and say that technology bad. So let me stop using it. But I want to look for responsible ways to do it. However, I just seeing some major roadblocks that we had to think through very, very hard. And one of them is the one that you brought up there with the repeated garbage. Because AI using AI articles to make more AI articles that contain fallacies, which by the way, is what humans did. Like human history is basically somebody writing a book on somebody else's perception of something, and then somebody else write a book about that person's perception of another person's perception until somebody can write a totally original book about the perception of somebody else, and then they were like, wait, so it wasn't that, and then you keep going. So it is a repetition of what we know history to be, but a lot faster.
Ultimately, AI just following us again.
I think so, you know. I think the process of humanity that got us to the point that we're at right now, AI just going to do that, but a lot faster. A lot faster, and eventually going to result in war. Because the ability to agree will be the AI just won't be able to agree because of the alternate facts that they have been fed and that they have come to know as truth. And they'll fight each other. But that is if I write a science fiction movie. I ain't really trying to go any further than that. All right. Good for Jamaica. When will Trinidad and Tobago do this? I cannot say. I am not 100% sure that we have the justice system in a place where they care enough about this to work on it.
They have a lot bigger problems to try and fix before they reach to this.
Like? Okay, no. Stop.
Okay.
we might end up in politics. All right. Let's try not to talk about the budget. I'm going to make this next segment as painless as possible. So work with me here. Well, you probably made it this far in the podcast. That means you probably like technology a lot and like to at least hear us talk about technology. And that also means you may know somebody or somebody who knows somebody or somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who wants a website built or an app built or some sort of technology integrated in their business. If you want to help them out, you could send them to Make It Simple TT, send them to us. And we have business services that range from building websites to building apps to invoicing systems to ensuring that technology is used in your company, to installation of routers, buying things online. So you could check us out, 308-8799. You could check our services out, or you could go to makeitsimplett.com and see some of the things that we've done and maybe give a recommendation to our website built or something like that. All right, so tomorrow is budget day in Trinidad and Tobago. This podcast will come out after the budget has been discussed and all of that drama. I promise you, next week, we will not, maybe if it have something that's very, very interesting about technology implementation, but we're not going to do the same thing we did, which is try to see if it will happen or not, because we know it ain't going to happen. all the stuff that they say in the budget do ever happen, and from experience, the only time we'll talk about it is when it actually does happen. However, if you were in the position of the Minister of Finance and you had some sort of access to the money that the country has and there's technology that needs to be implemented, what would you spend the technology budget on? That's the question.
I mean, trying to make things less painful, to give a real blanket and vague general statement to make things a bit less painful for the general public when facing government services using technology. That's like when I think most people would be there or thereabouts when it comes to investing in something that would help them on the day-to-day stuff, and incorporate technology into it. You know, it's a general statement, but I think generally that's where most people would land.
All right. I would ask you to go like specific, but I don't want to. If I had access to the purse and I wanted to implement something technologically wise for the country, I would definitely do something about internet access in a robust way. So I would push for internet access at schools, internet access to public areas and internet access to rural communities, because without access to the internet, we fully screwed if you try to implement anything at all. Like from online banking to access to online services to government services. Like ICT access centers are cool, but I should not have to get up and go to a glorified internet cafe to be able to do what I need to do. The ICT access center should be able to train you on what to do, but you're supposed to get the internet wherever you are and do it. So the first one, which is schools, it is hard to put internet into a whole school reliably, but we're talking about a national budget here. So the money that is needed, you should be able to allocate it to that and get there. Access to the internet in public spaces, the TT Wi-Fi thing and whatever it is that I have, hospitals and government offices and all that kind of thing. It shouldn't be that hard to get reliable free internet access for people there. And then in rural areas, the amount of money that it will take to pay one of those private service providers to get the internet to these places, I don't know what negotiation can be made or whatever the case is, but everybody should have internet at their home. And because to me, that's the baseline of going forward ICT wise. Having devices, we reach to the point where everybody could have a cell phone. Like the oldest of the old, the remotest of the remote, they have a smartphone. But what can they do with that smartphone? It hinges on the internet.
That's a real, you're going to need the private sector companies to work hand in hand with the government to get something like that. To make something like that possible. And
you think that hard?
Like to run off, say, need internet, say, CJOS or somewhere that far. Say Digicel say don't have internet there. Digicel had to run fiber. That's a lot of money. Probably.
And okay. No. Him out. It's a lot of money, yes, I know. But what else you're gonna try to spend the money on that would actually work? If you take all any money and try to, let me say, you buy laptops for all of the Form 1 children. What are you gonna do when if that Form 1 child go home and they don't have access to the internet? They'll play game. Yeah, they'll play game and they will do whatever they could do or whatever the case is. But if you don't spend all the money on laptops, and you say, okay, we go and try to make sure that every household in Trinidad and Tobago has internet. And we go and work with this private entity and that entity or whatever the case is. That sets a better foundation for future movement than given.
It sets a better foundation, but much harder to do. And getting hard stuff done when it comes to the public sector is either do happen or it's take a very long time.
I agree with you. I understand. But
yeah, but it is it's something real good to try and strive towards. You know, internet for all.
yeah, like the correct.
No, wait. You know who was the first person to say water for all? And up to now we don't have it.
I know.
It was in the 90s.
Yeah. I know for sure, yeah.
Do you think water for all is something easier than internet for all, or internet for all easier?
I honestly think internet for all easier. Let me tell you why. Because with water for all, you need to have some sort of pumping station infrastructure. With internet for all, you just had to run the wire.
So I look at it this way too, right? Water for all, the government have total control over that, over WhatsApp.
Of course! Oh, yeah. All right. I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're going.
Internet for all.
Yeah, they do have it, yeah. Okay. But you understand my point.
Yeah,
you understand?
I totally on board with it. But
everything starts with people being able to access the internet. And once you could access the internet, then you could start to put other things in play and in place to maximize the digital well-being of your citizens, because they could access it. And all the websites, all the things, all of the online banking, all of the features, all them kind of things, you could put all of that in place. But man could just tell you, me no internet by me. And in order to get the internet, I have to go by ICT Access Center. And I don't want to go there. So I am not going to, apply for my driver's license online, because... And then the people who have to maintain the online driver's license thing will be like, not much people else use this anyhow, so let's just not maintain it. So the people who actually want to use it ain't gonna get the best out of it, because to them, it do work anyhow. So you had to call. That happened to me this week. I had to email all sorts of documents to a particular place to get something done. I emailed all of the documents, everything they asked for, and I didn't even get a response to say acknowledged. You know what I had to do? I had to call. And I had to call and be waiting on whatnot, and then say, can I speak to this person, please? Or this person is not available. Okay, can I speak to somebody else? Explain my case to them, blah, blah, blah. And then hear that they had to call me back. And guess what? They ain't call me back. So I had to call them again the next day.
That's a company, like a big company.
Yeah, a big company, yeah. So
yeah,
I had
me
to
too. I emailed some documents about 2 weeks ago, and it was signing up for something, and they say the whole process will take 2 weeks. I called back Friday, and it was like, you send your documents? I say, yeah.
Exactly, yeah,
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so I send it over. I go check on it. Yeah. It was a bank. I ain't gonna say which bank, but it was a bank.
If I have the internet and I doing these things and those things not running efficiently, then the reason it not running efficiently is because the only way they're going to do their work is when you actually physically go there, or you call them and talk to somebody.
Yeah.
But if we trying to move forward, then you had to get those things to move efficiently. If it have enough volume for those things, which is everybody on the internet and using that method, then those processes, the businesses going to have to start to put effort into those processes and not skirt them to the side now. Say, well, dude, that email thing, only 5 people are sending an email every week, but we just get 10,000 calls. So we had to make sure that the call center working properly, or whatever that case is, that kind of thing. Yeah. So that might be, if I had all the money at my disposal for the budget, internet for all is a key thing. And water for all, well, at least the word will be out there that the internet is very important. And for a country that wants to be digitally minded and move forward, like, the internet is where it starts. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I had to say about the budget. Whatever they talk about, whatever they say, I'm not going to even dream about it making an impact until it actually starts. You know why I get scared with this? Because remember the time they say that the taxes on something on imports, on technology imports would be removed from January of a particular year, right? Yeah. And then in January came and they never removed the taxes. I went and order all kind of thing, I was like, January the 1st, I go and order everything that I need for this, whatever the case is. I want to order and I see all the taxes. And I went and checked in. They didn't implement the tax reduction, whatever it is I was supposed to be. And I was like, I never listening to our budget and trusting what these people say again. Never, because nobody else hold it accountable.
When did they do it eventually, yeah?
Eventually, probably about 8 months later.
Yeah. I wait until that to do my stuff.
Yeah. After, and that was real annoying. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah. All right. Thanks for not talking about politics. We greatly appreciate it. I hope it wasn't cringy enough for everybody. Everybody was cool. Let me talk about Taylor Swift now. All right, name 3 Taylor Swift songs.
I don't even know one. I don't even like if I hear it, I might know it because it play on the radio or something, but I don't know. I don't even know one Taylor Swift song.
I was in my class at time, right? And we I don't know, it was a light-hearted class, and we was like playing music, however the case is. And they were like, sir, porn a Taylor Swift. And I was like, guys, I do not know one Taylor Swift song, you know. And it's like, sir, nah, could never be. She's the #1 artist ever. Blah, 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 blah. She have millions of streams, all that kind of thing. And I was like, yo, you could play a Taylor Swift song for me right now, and I will just hear it, and I don't know that it exists. Because the radio I listening to have no Taylor Swift songs playing. The YouTube algorithm I have no Taylor Swift songs playing. There are no cars that has passed around playing Taylor Swift songs where I live. Because, like, no, true thing.
Like, I never, like, people don't do that in Trinidad. Because, like, for me, I saw her come on the radio, and like, it was okay. I just asked my if they Taylor Swift singing, and she's like, no. She don't know who's like any Taylor Swift song, because, you know, I have an idea what it might sound like, but she just Shazam it and it's be somebody totally different. So I have no idea. I probably hear it and I don't even know. But I really don't know.
The same thing has happened to me for Carnival. I doesn't know what's the big song in Carnival until I hear every car that have like, or bar or whatnot, playing a particular song. I'll be like, okay, that's probably the big song for Carnival. Not knowing that there are probably like 5 other big songs, but there's have one that is just kind of rise above all the others. Yeah, that is the same thing has happened. So, me I know nothing about Taylor Swift, but I know about AI. And here is the situation with Taylor Swift and AI. Taylor Swift fans want her to clarify. That's not, I'll share the article. I didn't click share. Yeah. Taylor Swift fans wanted to clarify whether AI was used to make recent promo videos. Some online speculate that videos that were part of the Life of a Showgirl promotional scavenger hunt, which was announced by Google, include telltale signs of generative AI. So, they had this kind of scavenger hunt where you had to scan a QR code and you had to go and find little clues in different places and whatnot. But this sentence here is what it is. While deciphering the video clues, some fans online said they noticed wonky text, muddled details, and objects that disappear or shapeshift against the laws of physics. Using the hashtag Swifties against AI on X, they began accusing the videos of utilizing generative AI. And the Swifties, they said this: we expected a decent album promo, but we noticed that the promotion on cities were made by AI. AI has a large impact on the environment and wildlife because of its large water consumption and more. Please learn better next time. Taylor. Here's their example. The fate of Ophelia. That kind of get messed up. And they had some other videos. No, they had some other parts too where it was looking like yeah, right. So long story short, Taylor Swift usually stands against, you know, things like artist exploitation and rights and the environment and all kind of things. And the Swifties, when you have that amount of following, when you are a $1 billion artist, your following is very diverse. And there's always going to be people who have different views of different things. So the Swifties were like, why is she using generative AI? 1, she have enough money to do the thing properly. 2, it's bad for the environment. And 3, I'm not listening to her music anymore because she has gone against us. And
people need to I don't have to say grow up, but people need to kind of realize that you need to stop putting your faith in people, and you can't put it on a block for like you going on this. Like if somebody, like if an artist, I don't even look up to no artist. Like how could you be?
Yeah, but that's because you're an adult. You're an adult. Right?
I saw most of these Swifties over 21, 25. I saw it are Swifties in the 30s.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct also.
It's like,
but when I say you're an adult, I don't mean by age. I don't mean by age at all. You You do adult things. You have a job. You have a wife. You have a child. You have side quests. You have businesses. You have those kind of things to worry about. You ain't going and comment on nothing. And and worst of all, you're not going to make somebody who does sing music a part of your idol worship scheme, where you're like, oh my goodness, this person, they stand for what I believe in.
Yeah, I mean, I understand you like the music and stuff like that, but you can't make it your identity. Like anything, music, sports, whatever, you can't just make that your whole identity to the point where if they do something out of the blue, you're going to have a meltdown, you know. But they say that bad for the environment. You know, it's bad for the environment in terms of efficiency and our private jets. I sure Taylor Swift just fly around in private jets.
Of course, the Swifties came out against her at some point in time. Yeah.
So
now, the article says Swift has not condemned the use of AI usage as a whole, but she has previously condemned its misuse. In a 2024 Instagram post endorsing Kamala Harris for president, Swift addressed President Donald Trump's attempt to tout an AI image of her. Recently, I was made aware of an AI of me falsely endorsing Donald Trump presidential run. It was really conjured up my fears around AI and the dangers of spreading misinformation. So she spoke out against AI once, and now it seems like she is using AI in the... Well, not she, but her team is using it. And this is a bigger debate than Taylor Swift because, as you know, there are AI artists that are being signed to different record labels. AI artists that have songs, that have videos, and they're racking up lots of money, lots of streams on Spotify and YouTube views and all kind of things. And real artists, they are kind of upset. But the AI in the music industry, to me, that's low-hanging fruit, boy. Low-hanging fruit. If you could get artificial intelligence to make a song that's a hit, that's going to make plenty money for you, why not do it? Because the music industry is not about creativity. The music industry is about money. And if your goal is to make plenty money, then all you have to study is the bottom line. Less money to pay our artists, same amount of money coming in, that means I'm going to get more money. If it was about creativity and artistry, then okay, fine. But the music industry is not that. So I can't see it stopping, and I know people just going to fall in love with the AI band and they won't care. And they will say, okay, how are we going to do the live performances? I'm 100% sure they figured out the hologram thing by now.
Yeah.
100% sure. They're going to have a hologram concert with the AI artists, and people are going to be going and waving their hands and shaking and whatever the case is. Because humanity sucks.
Yeah, and it's probably just the beginning. In a few years, 10, 20 years, it might be robots. Really full synthetic human skin and AI.
Yeah, it'll be a robot band and robots performing, and will be cool. There'll be like a revolution of people who want to be purists and be like, no, I want to hear an acoustic guitar played by a human being. Which, okay, cool. You're just gonna have to charge a lot more, because the bottom line that that record companies want to create, you ain't gonna give them that kind of money. Because two men sitting down behind a computer could make them the same amount of money that five Beyoncés.
I know, maybe after a while people would start to come together against it. Yeah. Because the same how, like, say a year or two ago, we had this big drive. I know Klarna was one of the people to do it, a big drive to get all the customer service stuff facing people out, and some of the drive-thrus and things to get all the humans out and replace it with AI. And then after a while, people was just like, yeah, I need to deal with a human. The AI not up to standard. And I think it had a drive-through where somebody went to make an order and the AI placed an order for like $1,000 in chicken nuggets. And it went ahead and, you know, so people have AI fatigue right now. So, I don't know, maybe in a few years it might.
But what if it gets better? Okay, it will get better, right? But from the music industry, here's the tricky part. That is customer service. Customer service, reps and all them kind of thing. Yeah, you could point out the issues there. But to produce a song, you have infinite amount of repetitions to get it properly before you release it. Once this song get released and that song is a banger, nobody cares who sang it, you know.
Yeah. No, especially if you're in a club and you're the influence and the music come on.
No, because especially when you're under the influence, some of the dumbest songs you think are the coolest ever, right? So once you get our formula of, like you say, you feed this AI the 50 top songs for the past 50 years, and that thing figure out, all right, cool. This is how you make a hit, because that is what it does do right now with humans, right? They just go by a producer who knows how to make the hits, and they'll tell you, yeah, this is how you're going to make a hit. Go by this producer, do whatever you say, use your voice, sing whatever, make a hit. You pay the producer, whatever the case is, right? Now, if they get to the point where they have an infinite amount of attempts to make this AI music, people ain't gonna get burned out. People are just gonna be like, whoa, this thing's so infectious, because it could basically make drug music based on data. Because the industry makes drug music based on data right now, which is why certain songs are called commercial, and then certain songs are called let's call it underground or pure or authentic, or whatever the case. Yeah. Commercial pop music, easy money.
And I guess it depends on the quality too, because if you look at how video is, AI generated video is and stuff like that, the quality not there to like produce a movie, you know, a full-fledged movie. So I never really I came across in terms of AI music, like let me say it's our 50 Cent song, right? That come out, released in 2003. They're using AI to make a version that would have come out in the 60s and it being sung in a kind of jazzy, kind of blues, you know, and it's song decent. It's song decent. So if the quality good, I think people would probably.
It have a band that got 1 million plays on Spotify since July this year, called the Velvet Sundown. They released 2 albums. They were totally created by AI, and the amount of streams that they got, the people did not know that they were listening to AI generated music, because there was no video to go along with it. It was just totally music.
What's the name of the Velvet? I'm gonna look for it on Apple Music.
The Velvet Sundown.
Yeah, it's on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he picked the album cover. It looked like a AI generated
Yeah. The album cover looks like AI. But people didn't care.
I'm gonna listen to it after.
Yeah, people didn't care because it met the formula. So Taylor Swift and the Taylor Swift situation, it just opened up the whole other thing to media, because once it gets good enough to create AI actors, the AI actors will replace the Hollywood actors, and people won't care. The reason I could say that for sure is because we accepted CGI. We accepted CGI in a big way when we started, when Toy Story. Toy Story was like the first CGI generated totally show where it was like, yeah, we love this really, really badly. Yeah, correct. And all you need to get was a voice actor. But if you're already getting them to do the music properly, getting a voice actor to do the voice for a totally CGI show, animated shows will be the first one, I think. But then eventually it will be other shows. But for the movie one though, I don't think it will be as easy because the authentic acting from an actor, there must be a line somewhere where just be like, we can't have all of these fake people acting on the show.
You'll be able to tell. Like,
you'll be able to tell for now.
Yeah.
But our adoption of CGI, that's a sign to me.
The thing with CGI though, you think it get any better in the past 10 years? Like if you go and watch a movie 10 years ago versus now.
Oh no. Because there's rush the CGI now to get the stuff done. Yeah, there's rush it because whatever the case, but the CGI will get a lot better. But we don't care. We didn't care that, Captain America holding the Thor hammer was CGI. We was like, whoa, yeah.
That was the last time I went to the cinema to watch it was the last one, Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame, yeah.
That was 2018 or something, or 2019.
I actually went to the cinema last night, first time in a long time, to watch anime Demon Slayer with my daughter. But it's only because I'm a daughter that I went, because I could stream that easily. But cinema.
Legally.
No comment, none at all. Yeah, right. Okay. So that's music, and that is Hollywood TV shows, not TV shows, movies. What about art, like digital art?
Like doing like promotional banners and art, like graphic work and stuff like that.
Yeah. You think we accept that?
Yeah, I think so.
We accept that one already. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But physical art now, taken because they will have to translate to some sort of robotics now. If the robots start to do physical art, that one I think is
the thing about that
very difficult. Yeah,
physical art is money laundering. So
100%.
It's whoever.
Whoever ascribe value to it. Yeah, whoever ascribe value to it, yeah. So the physical art, I honestly don't know how to appreciate art from the perspective of, this is a great piece because of the brush strokes and the this and all them kind of thing. I still find that to be very difficult to comprehend. And I understand, and I'm okay with that. Maybe I just won't be able to ever see it to understand it because I don't have that artistic vibe or whatever it is.
We not cultured enough.
Yeah, we ain't cultured enough to have the wine and cheese.
Yeah.
But the in terms of artistry in the world, music has become so digital. Movies have become so digital that AI taking it over is not difficult to me. But the picture art hasn't become very digital. It still has a physical aspect to it. That is the one that would take the longest to take over because you need to transition that into robots. But there's a robot called S03 that is actually a helper now in houses. They had one S02, I think, was working in the BMW factory doing manual labor for 5 months, and they put a camera recording it. And that thing worked 10 hours for 7 days a week for 5 months straight. In the BMW factory. Actual manual labor, picking up things and putting it in places and making decisions and all them kind of things.
So it take time to recharge or something?
Yeah, take time to recharge and to, service, I guess.
Oil change.
Yeah. But I have another one that doing folding clothes and all them kind of things. So the robots and the AI that's basically here, and the it have one called Unitree boy. That is the one in Japan that they teaching taekwondo and thing. That it does kick and thing, and it had the robot Olympics where they were running 100 meters and all kind of things. Yeah, the robotics part and the AI part. That here and that coming, and I have no problem getting one if it gets cheap enough. I have no problem getting one to do things around the house.
I don't know about that. I telling you, if once my children don't want a dog anymore, again, you're a dog. You know, I got robot to do cut the grass. Cause my grass real high right now, and I alone will watch them a few weeks now.
I 100% getting a robot to make life easier at home because I prove it to myself with the vacuum cleaners, my robot vacuum cleaner.
Like that. So you can just power vacuum cleaner, the whatever, and it'll clean the floor. I will put one outside the grass, let cut the whole yard.
It have. The robotic lawnmowers. I don't know about the cleaning and maintenance of that because outside there's a different kettle of fish inside, but it have.
Yeah, I will map it out, take pictures of the whole yard, let know exactly where to cut the height. I will buy that. Program it, do it every 2 weeks, fertilize. It had I want to do cut the grass, fertilize, and it had to water it too. Every twice, like during dry season, go and water the lawn for me.
I wouldn't doubt it. I
will pay money for that.
Alright, time to wrap up. Today we spoke about Jamaica has AI integration for the courts, basically guidelines for lawyers telling them how to use AI respectively. Responsibly or legally, whatever the case is. So we did that. We spoke about it, and I think it's doable. It just had some things that we realized it could get bad real fast. It could get bad really quickly. We didn't try to talk about the budget, but we just kind of posed the question about what would we do if we had the budget money, or what would we try to aim for? What you say you were aiming for? I forget. Efficiency in government
services.
Yeah, efficiency in government services. And mine was a very ambitious one, which is internet for all. Because if you do have internet, it doesn't make sense that you have anything else working because people can access it. And then we ventured into talking about Taylor Swift and AI, which led us to AI applications in the music and movie industry. If all y'all have
household
household chores for sure household chores. So if you make it to this point here, that means you're invested in the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to leave a review, a like, a share, subscribe, whatever it is you folks do, because I don't know what else to ask for. But hey, you make it this far. Thanks for listening. Really, really appreciate it. Let me see if I can do a quick numbers check. 54 subscribers on YouTube. We got 2 more subscribers. That's a lot. And I ain't gonna check Spotify and Apple because that's plenty of work. But if you're hearing this, that means you invested in podcast. Thank you very much. Leave a comment, subscribe, and whatever the case is. My name is Andre Charles from at Make It Simple TT, where I do 2 videos per week, which is totally new. Like 2 things.
After a year.
And a half. Let's be very clear. A year and a half, because I wasn't about that life. But now I found a way to do AI videos to, give AI tips. And other than that, it's the Trini Techcast, where we spend a whole hour and 20 minutes or thereabout talking about technology, and then chop that up and send that out to the masses, boy, because we love technology. We really do. So that's me. And
I'm Akim there from the Trini Techcast, where I do a podcast once a week. And
that encapsulates it. Alright, so let me go on there. That's it for today. We'll see you all next week. Happy budget day. Later.